Tuesday, June 16th. At the beginning of the year, I made a couple videos about what I wanted to do throughout 2026. I filled a couple pages of this notebook right here with goals that I had, things that I wasn't going to buy. In this video, I'm just going to be going over those lists, seeing if I need to change anything, add anything, if I failed some of my goals already. Kind of do like a half-year check-in. There was one YouTuber who split her year into quarters, but I waited a little too long, so I'm doing just the half year, and then at the end of the year, hopefully, I'm proud of, you know, what has been accomplished and what I've been able to do. I have a note to myself on the first page. I'm gonna save that until the end of the year. Pushing on the door is not going to open it. You need to pull the door so that the door opens. Anywho, so for the goals that I had some spiritual goals. I wanted to pray at least once a day. I wanted to do a daily devotional and then spend some alone time with God once a week. Not gonna lie, I've been neglecting this a little bit. In preparation for this video, I've been, looking over that and trying to connect more. I pray often. The devotionals I do a couple times a week. I guess to my standards, I haven't done it very well. So that's something to work on still. I have some relationship and social goals. I wanted to call or text a friend or family member once a day. I've been doing pretty well with that. I am in somewhat of a rotation, but I've just really been maintaining communication with like a handful of people, which still isn't bad. It's better than before. And then I wanted to have a date night with my husband once per week. We've restructured our schedule. So what we do on the weekends is kind of like a date night. We'll go out. It's not like a full-fledged date night, but we're doing what we can do, and it's always a good time. I had some physical goals. I wanted to hit the gym at least once a week, and I've been going 3 times a week now, and I'm loving it very much. I've created a workout split for myself, and I have like a schedule and a routine now, and it's awesome. It's amazing. And then another goal I had was to do a morning or evening activity every day. And what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks is that after dinner, I'll go on a mile walk. I have a walking pad, so I just turn that on, walk for an hour. Did I say mile? I meant hour. I go on a 1-hour walk, usually get about 3 miles in, listen to some music, maybe watch some TV. I've also been trying to play video games while walking, and that's worked. I haven't died yet, but it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. I don't recommend it. I had some mental goals. I wanted to study a new language 2 hours per week. And the problem with that is that, so I have Duolingo, and before Duolingo had hearts. So if you got an answer wrong, you would lose a heart, but you were still able to earn those hearts back through practice or watching ads or something. But they've changed it to a battery, energy. So it doesn't matter whether you get the question wrong or right, but you lose energy no matter what. So I can't study for 2 hours a week. I guess I could if I did it twice a day maybe, and their subscription is pretty cheap for unlimited energy. I just don't want to spend more money on that since it's not really a priority to me. Another goal I had was to finish 2 books, and I have met that goal, and I want to finish 2 more by the end of the year. I had 2 books in mind at the beginning of the year. I had Holly by Stephen King, and then I had She Was the Quiet One. I could not finish that book for the life of me. I've had that book for years and have not once read it fully through. So I donated that book, bought 3 more, and finished one of those already. They're based on finance, stocks, things like that, the stuff I went to school for the first time. So I know I'm gonna read those. so I can, you know, brush up on what I learned. Finished 2, I met that goal. I'm gonna do 2 more. Hopefully I meet that goal by December 31st. I have some financial goals. I wanted to finish paying off my student loans this year. I owed $15,000 at the beginning of the year, and I owe closer to $8,000 now. I am not 100% sure if I'm gonna be able to do it. It's not like a thing where I can budget the same amount. I don't have a, you know, my paycheck fluctuates, so I'm just, you know, doing what I can, trusting God. If it's not this year, then it's next year, and that's okay. And I wanted to save or invest $500. I've surpassed that goal completely. I think I met that within the first 2 months. So I was setting the ball a little low, but I have started an emergency fund. I've been investing into my Roth IRA. So I'm not gonna, you know, max out the IRA this year because I'm focusing on the student loans, but we're getting there. I had some dietary goals. I only wanted to eat meat on special occasions, and I'm not sure if you're in the loop, but tried to be vegetarian, and I found that keeping poultry and fish in my diet was the way to go. I don't eat beef or pork. It's not a religious thing, it's, you know, how it makes me feel. I'm doing really well with the chicken and fish, so I'm gonna keep that in there. I'm not gonna say that one was a fail, but my goals have readjusted, let's say. I wanted to be mindful and avoid overconsumption. I did very bad, very, very bad with this up until maybe a month ago. And for the past 2 weeks, I've been like actually in tune with it and sticking with it, and I'm proud of myself. I'm just sad that it took me this long to get there. So we're working on it. It's been a lifelong thing for me. So if I do it, then I do it. I had some hobby goals that I wanted to achieve. I wanted to end the year with YouTube videos that I was proud of, editing wise, content wise. I'm doing pretty well right now. We'll see how the rest of the year goes. I also wanted to post at least 1 full-length video per month. I don't think I've missed that target yet, so that's good. I'm meeting that goal. I wanted to improve my voiceover skills. I posted a couple videos with voiceovers. I think I got the hang of it. I'm not a very entertaining person. My voice just kind of stays on one thing, but at least I know how to put my voice on the video without talking, so I didn't know that before. And then I wanted to create something once per month. So I haven't necessarily created, you know, as much as I wanted. I was working on a sweatshirt at the beginning of the year. I finished that. I've been drawing more. I created an OC, which I haven't done in many years, but that kind of, you know, sparked something in me. Not doing too great with that, but also not doing too bad. And that was it for the goals that I had. I know it was a lot, but it was like, you know, did categories and a couple per category. Sorry. So onto the things that I told myself not to buy this year. Number 1 on the list was stuffed animals. I failed that. So far, I've only bought 1 stuffed animal, and it's been him. This fellow right here, okay? He's small, and he was fairly inexpensive, so there's that. And last week, I got rid of a ton of stuffed animals. So, I mean, I bought him months ago, but I'm proud of myself for letting go of all of those other ones. Not because I'm making space for more, but, you know, it evens out, you know, 1 for like the 20 that I got rid of. I know, it's a lot. Number 2 was collector's items. I haven't bought any of those, unless you count that, because that's like merch, but I don't. And then we have Amazon home decor or Amazon clothes, shoes, and accessories. I have not bought anything on Amazon. Doing very well with that. Workout equipment, haven't bought any of those. Thrift store impulse purchases, haven't shopped at the thrift store. Video games, haven't bought any of those. Cosmetics, nope. New pets, absolutely not. New technology, nope. Dishware, also no. Or brand new clothes. I wanted to thrift only this year. I don't think I bought anything brand new, so... Oh, I'm sorry. I have been to the thrift store, but I've been very mindful of what I got. It wasn't like an impulse thing. Sorry about that. But those were the 2 lists. And then after that, I've been doing like a daily and weekly journal. Every day I do like a mini like breakdown of what I did. And then on the other page, I do like a full like sort of diary entry of the whole week, how I felt, what I was doing. Right now I am on week 24 because it's the 24th week of the year, just in case you didn't know. But it looks like I missed a journal entry. Whoops. That's okay. So on this next page, I'm gonna revise my goals, do some adjusting, and then I'll show you the final product at the end. All right, here are my updated 2026 goals as of today, June 16th. Please don't mind my handwriting as we go through this. First, I have the spiritual goals that focus on my relationship with God. I want to pray first thing in the morning and the last thing at night. I want to take notes every Sunday. I still have my notebook. I just haven't been bringing the notebook to church with me since we moved here, so it's been about a year. I've brought it a couple times since then, but consistently. I just want to do it consistently. Next up, we have relationship/social goals to connect with others. I want to maintain contact with friends and family. The reason I have this is because I tend to cut myself off and be distant from a lot of people, so I don't want to do that anymore. Anyway, I also want to greet everyone with a smile and have weekly dates with my husband. This one is inspired by my job. I've been doing pretty well with this at work, but in my day-to-day, it could use a little work, and who's it gonna hurt? And then I kept the weekly dates on there because next we have some physical goals to improve my bodily health. I changed it from once a week to 3 times a week. And then I want to do a 1-hour walk after dinner every day. And then I also want to see if I can reach my weight goal. Your health isn't determined by a number, I understand that. But just, that's why there's a question mark. We'll see. But I'm going to reach it in a healthy way. Then we have my mental goals to strengthen the mind. I want to finish those final 2 books that I have about the stock market and fancy finance things. And then I'll study a language once a week or more. We're kind of back at square one with that because I haven't been on in over 150 days, so something for me to work on and get back into doing. Then I have my financial goals that involve money. I want to finish paying off my student loans, that's number 1. And then I want to complete my emergency savings fund. My emergency savings fund is going to be 6 months of expenses. Some people do 4 months, but I'm going to do 6 because you never know. Then I have my dietary goals, the goals that involve food. I want to reduce my sugar intake as much as possible. I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I, looked back on my eating habits, and I eat way too much sugar, so I'm just going to reduce that. I want to eat more whole foods rather than processed, and I want to still avoid overconsumption. And then I have my hobby goals. I did not specify here because it's pretty self-explanatory. I want to improve my editing skills and post 1 full-length YouTube video per month. And then separate from YouTube, I may want to get a pair of running shoes. I've been, jogging recently and I am loving it. So I did a 10-minute mile this morning, which is good for my first try. So if I want to take that seriously, I may get a pair of shoes. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and if this inspired you to make a journal, that's great. If there's anything that you want to see from me, please let me know. I have some videos planned, but maybe you have a suggestion. All right, yeah, thank you.